Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and tell your friends about it. Or if you're watching this on Shelf Life's Facebook page, hopefully you'll like it and tell your friends about this as well. And you'll also find many of these same reviews on my Goodreads channel. That's Paul Suter, S-U-T-G-E-R. I have over 370 book reviews on Goodreads as well. So anyways, to the books this time out. Two fiction books, two very different fiction books. So if you're looking for a mystery thriller and sort of a romantic, I won't say thriller, but romantic intensity, you will enjoy the second book. So the first book out is James Patterson, Fear No Evil, an Alex Cross thriller. And it is. It's published by Little Brown and it retails for $37.99. People are most familiar with James Patterson books. The majority of them he writes with a co-author, but the series of Alex Cross books that he started, I think about 30 years ago or so, he writes solo. They began with such books as Along Came a Spider, which was made into a movie, and the Alex Cross series has become one of the most sought after and best-selling books of any James Patterson series. So this is the usual Alex Cross. From first page to last, you will find thrills, chills, and lots of other interesting things. And as usual, the short chapters make for interesting reading too. There are over 100 chapters, and it's the short chapters that make the plot go at a quicker pace. And in this book, Alex Cross is supposed to go on a Montana wilderness excursion with Detective John Simpson. They plan it out, but the best laid plans go awry when CIA agents are found murdered. They are also found with notes on their bodies, sort of my confession, that they are confessing to bad things they did while as the CIA agent. And it appears someone is targeting these people. They know about their past, they know about their lives. And so it makes for a very interesting storyline. But someone is also contacting Alex Cross via cell phone, and he's sending these cryptic messages as though he knows what every member of Alex Cross's family is doing at any given time. His wife Bree, who was a former detective, now she is in a private investigative agency. He knows what she's doing. And actually, she was supposed to go to Paris. She does go to Paris. She's on the trail of a sexual predator that she wants to get the goods on him. But while she's there, there's an assassination attempt on someone's life. And Alex, fearing that his wife might have been caught in the crossfire, he goes right to Paris to investigate what's going on. So it's just, each chapter leads to something more intense and exciting. And in typical James Patterson style, it just gets better and better and better. And toward the last of the book, Alex Cross does go with John Simpson to the Montana wilderness, but it is to lure these killers out. And the killers are part of, there's two drug cartels who are actually trying to kill one another. Each one wants to become number one for the lucrative drug business, so they're actually targeting each other. And in the meantime, this man named M, or Maestro, who has been sending these messages to Alex Cross, is he at the core of it? Is he behind it? Is he part of the cartel? You aren't really sure. And that's the interesting part of the book, that James Patterson does keep us guessing. But in the Montana wilderness, it is definitely a life or death situation with the two drug cartels after one another. They're also after Alex Cross and his detective friends. So it just gets wilder and wilder. So if you're looking for a book that holds nothing back and it's just thrill after thrill after thrill, Fear No Evil is a book you should not fear, but a book you should definitely add to your collection. And the second book, The Lives of EDIE Pritchard by Larry Watson, is published by Algonquin Paperbacks, and it retails for $22.99. This is sort of a romantic book, but it's a romantic book that's gone off the rails in many ways. It follows the life of EDIE Pritchard. There are 3 chapters telling 3 different times of her life. The first is from 1966 to 1967, when she was known as Edie Linderman. She is married to a man by the name of Dean Linderman, and it is not the best marriage. He takes her for granted. He's not a loving husband. His brother Roy actually is in love with her too, and he doesn't make it a secret that he really likes her a lot, and he would like to have the relationship, and he wishes he was the one that married her instead of his brother Dean. So it gets to the point that she feels smothered. The husband, Dean, takes her for granted. She feels like basically a nobody. And as time goes on, she knows she has to get away from this. And she plans and plans and plans that she must leave. And eventually, by the end of the chapter, she finally says goodbye to it all. She boards a Greyhound bus for parts unknown. And that is the end of chapter 1. Chapter 2 is set in 1987, when she has long, divorced Dean, and she is now with, she's known as Edie Dunn. And she has a daughter, and the daughter is, her name is Jennifer, and she is a very rebellious daughter. She wants to do things her own way. She's always rebelling against her mother, and it becomes a situation where Edie knows that she can't stay with this too, because this husband is actually no better than the first husband. So she decides that she is going to leave. She's going to just take her daughter with her, Jennifer, and Jennifer gets upset because they might have to leave their cat behind. So she brings the cat along, and there's some interesting situations where the cat suddenly runs away, and so you wonder if the cat, actually you're more concerned about the cat than the daughter, because the daughter is just a rebellious child, and she's an unusual girl. And as usual, Edie gets into another bad situation, so she figures, well, they can't stay again. So this takes us all the way up to chapter 3, where EDIE Pritchard is in 2007. She's a grandmother, and her granddaughter hasn't made the best choices with men either. So it's like a vicious circle. Each time out, someone has made bad choices in men. They just didn't get it right the first time, so they make a mistake the second and the third time. So it's interesting showing her lives and how she's in many ways matured, but she's also has an immature streak when it comes to men, that she somehow is attracted to the wrong guy. And this is what makes the book so interesting. Larry Watson has done an amazing job of fleshing out the character of Edie in 3 different stages of her life, and we care about her. Some books we read, we really don't care. We get, by the end of the book, we just don't care about that main character, but we care a lot about Edie. And we wish we were in the book to say, hey, Edie, you're doing this all wrong. But anyways, The Lives of EDIE Pritchard is highly recommended reading. Much different than the first book of James Patterson, but then it's not supposed to be the same sort of book. So those are the 2 books that I wanted to draw to your attention this time out. Hopefully when you're at your local bookstore and you see these books on your shelves, you'll think, I read that I heard that recommendation from Shelf Life. So anyways, you can't go wrong with the 2 books. So I welcome your comments as well too. Do you agree with my assessment of these books? Please let me know. So as I always say, thank you for watching. Spread the word of my online book reviews, and do keep safe, keep sane, stay social distancing, and do stay in touch. Thanks again. Bye for now.